Hello, hello. Let me get set up really quick and make sure we can hear. Also, my lovely dog, my spiritual companion, was just announcing that something was happening at the front door, so this is good. We'll take a moment for him to settle while I check on sound and make sure that I am live. All right, let's see. Okay, I can hear, I can see comments. Yay! Hello, welcome to Beauty Within DK. This is a loving community. I invite you all to join, and welcome to the Believe Releasing Process video series. This is week 3. Not to worry if you have missed the other 2 weeks. They are available in a playlist on here on this page, and also in my private community group and on YouTube. So they'll be in a couple more places soon. Coming soon to a social media platform near you. Okay, so the overview for this month's video series is the Believe Releasing Process. And this is a God-given process that was documented by Fifth Dimension Earth in the book Believe. But we can all receive it. It just is documented so beautifully and impeccably by Fifth Dimension Earth. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to do the process. And what the Believe Releasing process does is it helps with the energetic mind's healing as well as energetic physical healing. So hopefully by the end of this live, you will better understand higher level, or have a better understanding of higher level understanding of this supportive God-given process, and how your higher self and living plus loving guidance will help you with actionable steps to relabel your fear-labeled memories in your subconscious mind and change those to love-labeled memories. All right, our main focus today is going to be step 3 of the Believe Releasing process, and this step is focused around further understanding of the experience applied for broader connection to the events. So if you remember week 1, you are starting to feel these experiences coming through. You're wanting to change how you feel about them. In week 2, you are having more of this experience flow to you so that you can remember how it feels, understand that it's important that you focus on it to help relabel from fear to love. So week 3, there's further understanding around each of those emotions and experiences that you will have more information flow through to you with the help of your higher self, so you can really get a bigger, more better. I think that's not proper English, and neither was that sentence, but that's okay. You all know what I mean. You'll get a better perspective on the overall whole of each individual emotion and experience. So also we will chit chat a little bit about upcoming programs and ways to work with me, and how this all flows together. It's all under the umbrella of a true, beautiful, magnificence journey that I hope to take you on, no matter which part or for how long. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And you'll be able to find links for everything up in the post. Plus, we'll wrap up with Q&A. So go ahead, ask those questions. So just drop the questions below in the comments, or if it's something that you are not feeling like you want to be seen more publicly, please do send me a message. We can set up a time. Or if it's something really simple that relates to today's video, just send me the question. Okay, as you join though, please do say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love seeing where everybody is watching from the world. And And please do share this page with your friends and family if you feel that there's anything that will benefit them or interest they may have. And feel free to join my private community group. So, all of the videos are available on replay if you are unable to attend live. So don't worry, and even in the future, they will be on replay. You can watch on catch up right here. There's playlists with everything sorted out. Or if you're in my community group, you can find them in the guide section. If you're on YouTube, there's playlists. So a little bit about me. I am an evolved divine change maker. And I am a Believe accredited practitioner. I am a 5th Dimension Earth certified healer. So all of that wrapped up means that I am your leading edge physical guide and healer. And I'm here to help and support you as you're ready to awaken, ready to heal, ready to feel good, ready to live, and ready to evolve. So when you're ready to start that true, beautiful magnificence journey, I'm here for you. And today, what I am sharing may or may not be something that you currently understand, but just allow the information to flow with you, through you. Let it settle, feel the truth of it, and, ask questions you may have. I love questions. And a lot of you who have worked with me one-on-one or in small groups will recognize my questions. My questions flow from God and are there to help you along the way. Okay, so I've mentioned this magnificence journey, and just a little recap if you're just popping in here and haven't watched any other videos. Back in the fall, I created a magnificence journey series of videos, and it's truly the culmination of how I have become who I am today over the past few years. And these are the exact steps that I took to become beautifully divine whole and how I am continuing towards divine, beautiful magnificence of my own. It's been magical, truly transformative in my life, and it's evolved from the time that I created the Magnificence Journey series to now, and I'm excited to continue to share with you, each of you, just how my journey has been and how you are on your journey and how you could be on your journey. There's so much possibility, probability, opportunity. It's immense. And then last month, I created a Meet Your Higher Self series. So this meeting your higher self and having that conscious connection is part of the first step of anybody's magnificence journey. But you definitely need to have that step taken to be able to work on the Believe releasing process, which is part of step 2 in the magnificence journey. Now, when I say part of, I mean part of. Yes, it's completely transformative, and it is it's epic. Like, each of these steps will create massive change for you on your true, beautiful magnificence journey. But there's also so much more around it and offshoots of things, of just the steps I have been discussing in this round. So, not to worry, there is a plethora of information to look forward to in the future as I share all sorts of amazing spiritual and energetic things that God has brought through. Okay, so again, quick overview of the Believe releasing process, and we're going to say cheers to God's Believe releasing process. And you'll feel during the Believe releasing process, if you do choose to enact that and start working through all of the things that have been holding you back and making you feel not good, what will happen is you'll feel an overall shift in emotions from fear to love. You'll feel hope, freedom, and as you let go of the past, you'll begin to feel better. And there's processes and tools involved with all of this. But what it does is it creates true lasting change. And that creates freedom, ultimate freedom. It's important to remember this process is always done with your higher self, and none of the process is consciously driven by you. So it's not you that's like, oh no, why am I remembering this again? And I don't want to remember that memory. That was a terrible time. It is your higher self bringing through things that you need to work on. You need to change. So let go of any fear around any of the spiritual terminology you hear, any of the divine language I use. Just feel and saturate as you listen, and there will be more clarity to come in right time. So the 5 steps of the believe releasing process are: number 1, your higher self will highlight to you low vibration that needs to be addressed and is linked to a key experience. Number 2, from a place of tranquility, allow yourself to receive the experience from your higher self and what these emotions are linked to. Number 3, which is what we'll be talking about today, is further understanding of the experience applied for broader connection to the events. Step 4 is actually 2 parts. 4A is, in finding love for yourself and others, there's truth creation. Step 4B is creating journey level truths. So these are truths that umbrella some of the truths you might have already created, and they can, we'll probably talk about truth buckets, but when you hit the truth that's above a bunch of other experiences and emotions, they all fall like dominoes right into a love label. And step 5 is let go, and learning to live in all of these really awesome new truths that you've created. Okay, so our focus, the believe releasing process. Step 3, further understanding of the experience applied for broader connection to the events. So cheers to more understanding and more information flowing through around what you are trying to change from a fear label to a love label. All right, so what's going to flow to you? Remember, you have this low vibration, this fear feeling. Your higher self has brought you something to work on. You have allowed it. You have noticed it. You have jotted down on your believe awareness list things that you need to work on. Now, nobody expects any of you who've never done this before to be working on things in the moment. That's later. That comes later, and when you are learning to live in your truths. But these are these things that are on that awareness list you're going to come back and revisit, right? So you've started that process in step 2. Now, step 3, more insight and understanding as to why you acted in the way you did will start to flow. So there's a sense of reflection in the recall of the movie playing, of the experience, and you're feeling the emotion, and you're getting more information flowing through to you from your higher self and more perspective. And the perspective isn't going to be this perspective you had when it occurred. It's going to be a broader perspective. Expect a broader perspective around the entire situation that happened in the past. So, sorry, my my device decided it wasn't going to show me any more comments. So let me get that back up to where we are. Okay, perfect. Working again. All right. So it may be that we'll flow back to the broccoli example, because it's so easy to understand. So remember, you have understood up through step 2 of the believe releasing process that you are reacting in a way that does not feel good when there's a piece of broccoli on your plate. And you have discovered the link is that there was broccoli at your loved one's reception after their funeral. And that makes you sad. So simple. Okay? We're not going to get into like nitty gritty details or anything. Just a simple example for you. And you're going to recognize that when that broccoli keeps coming into your experience and showing up on your plate, and now you're crying at a dinner party for, another friend's engagement where it should be a happy time, you're recognizing why you are feeling the way you are in that moment is because you understand that this is linked to the sadness and the grief that you felt in that past experience. So in order to change your perspective of the situation, you really have to allow that insight and understanding to flow through. Why are you acting like this? Well, we are physical human. Of course we have emotions. We have been prospectively programmed to feel really sad when our loved ones pass away and transition back to non-physical, because we don't necessarily have been taught the full understanding of life is for living and that we are eternal souls. Or maybe we have been taught that, but we haven't really understood the full knowing that's inside of us and have the full connection to our soul and to God to understand it fully. So now that's coming in, right? This is the example. That is starting to flow. We're starting to feel like, well, my loved one really did have a great life, and they're going to get to continue that on. And maybe there's a way that since I'm connected to my higher self and I'm connected with God, I probably can connect with my loved one as well in some way. That's best way for both of us. So my loved one's not really gone. My loved one's just changed the form of energy they're in from physical to non-physical. But because I'm connected with my higher self and God, I'm able to connect with non-physical. And so you see how the insight and the understanding starts to gel and form as I've just kind of spoken you through that. So now your perspective is starting to change. Now you are seeing reason, you're seeing hope, you're seeing freedom. And even if it was that your loved one was suffering in this life, well, now they have ultimate freedom. So there's a perspective change in that as well. So just recognize that this is really probably the hardest step of the believe releasing process. But it's the most freeing when we understand the disconnection, especially if there's disconnection in others that were involved in the situation. So let's go back to the repeat offender example I used, where maybe you just keep ending up dating the wrong type of guy or gal, and the common denominator is you in each and every one of those relationships. And I don't say this with any judgment. I say this in utmost love because we have all lived something like this at some point or know somebody who has. And it just is what it is, and it was there as experience for you to be able to help you want to awaken, go through the process, and really flourish and head on that magnificence journey of your own. So let's say somebody in any sort of relationship, friend, family, loved one, it doesn't matter. Somebody, even a stranger or an acquaintance, they treated you in a way that you didn't feel good or felt less than or what have you, any sort of way like that. So it isn't you, it's them in a sense. So everybody has a level of disconnection. There is no physical human in this world that has been born awakened, okay? That means that they are consciously whole and understand and are connected to their higher self and God in the way that I explained basically in the last video series. So everybody has a level of disconnection, some more than others, and some of that disconnection is part of soul contracts. So when you were created with God and your higher self, creating your soul, the next thing that happened is that you are creating a soul contract. Well, maybe not the next thing, but one of the things that happens before you incarnate on earth, being born as a baby, as we all are, one of the things that happen is you have time with God and your higher self to create a soul contract. And these are things that you are setting forth to do. You have the intention of doing while you are here as physical human on this earth. And it is things that you have chosen and agreed upon by your higher self and God for your growth, for your spiritual growth, for your energetic growth, for your emotional growth. So that when you transition, i.e. die, and go transition back to non-physical energy, you take this with you, this experience with you, and you benefit from it, and you can benefit from it for all of eternity, eternally. So there are other players, though, within these soul contracts. And I did do a whole soul contract series. It is in my private group. If you're interested, please click to join the group, fill out the questions, and you can view that there. I cannot tell you when anything like that will come right back around that will be posted publicly. We will see, as I am guided by God and my own non-physical team, when to do things. So within soul contracts, though, there's a lot of moving parts. So let's say you had a key milestone that was to set out to feel disconnection from the love of your mother, for example. And there isn't anything specific that is placed in your soul contract, but the key players to make that experience happen, it's in their soul contract. They've agreed that, yes, I'll help with that disconnection of you and your physical mother in that relationship. So that can end up showing up as any plethora of things because it is not specified in your soul contract. But some examples could be neglect. It could be abuse, emotional or physical. It could be that your birth mother passed away at a young age and you really didn't even get to know her in physical life. Any number of things. And it is not your fault. It is in the soul contract. And one of the key things in the soul contract creation is that it isn't your fault. It's your responsibility, but it's not your fault. God takes the blame. God's the final say on signing off on that soul contract. And if it's in your soul contract, you absolutely have the ability and capability to complete these key milestones in your soul contract while you are here on the face of this earth as a physical human. Now, that takes responsibility to understand and recognize you have to awaken. You have to, become love labeled. You have to do all of these things that are part of the magnificence journey, or at least a high percentage of them, to actually have that change and that understanding. So it's not your fault. It is your responsibility, and God takes the blame, and it's all okay. It's all meant to help you, and you're never given anything that you can't handle. It's a matter of choosing, because you have free will, whether you're going to handle it or you're not going to handle it. Okay, so this step is also, it's not about forgiving other people that have acted in the way they have acted, but it is about finding compassion and love for them in their situation. When somebody has in their soul contract that they're going to help somebody else in their experience, and that ends up manifesting in a way that seems pretty crappy or horrible as a physical human, one physical human to another, you have to remember it was a hard decision for them. They had to choose to agree to that. To all of us in non-physical are pure positivity and love and uplift and divine love, and to say, okay, I'm going to give that up for my time, incarnating as physical human and do all these things that you would never, ever even dream of choosing in non-physical to somebody else to help them have what most physical humans would say is a crummy, to say the least, understatement experience. That's a big deal. That's really a big deal. So you don't have to forgive that physical human, but you will find that this step is about finding compassion and love for that other physical human, in that what they took on to help you for your growth and expansion. You absolutely also must find love for your experience. And that really, it can be challenging, but there are a nice plethora of us that have achieved this. And so it is possible. You can too. And that's why I am doing this, is to show you and give you examples that it can be done. I've done it. I have lots of friends who have done it. So it is possible to do it, and it can be probable for you to complete it. So finding love for your experience, I think one of the easiest ways to understand that is that old adage of everything in your life is a blessing or a lesson. Well, yeah, it truly is. It truly is. But there's blessings in learning from those lessons. And this is the part, step 3 of the believe releasing process, where you are learning the blessing of the lesson, so to speak. And in that, you find love for it, and you will find yourself as you energetically move through this experience of the believe releasing process. You will have those moments, those oh shit moments of something happened. That's your first reaction as physical human. And then you take a moment and you're like, wait a minute. This is for change for me. This is love for me, so that I can experience this, understand about it, and get to the other side of it. And what's on the other side is true lasting change and more freedom and more love for you, for God, for those other physical humans around you involved. So it really ends up being very beautiful, a very beautiful thing. And then, of course, as part of step 3 of the believe releasing process, you have to return to step 2, step 2, as often as needed to fully understand the experience or the emotion before moving on to step 3. So there's this loop, and that's okay. And do not beat yourself up about, I thought I was past this. I thought I changed this. Because there's more layers. There's always more layers. And you eventually get to a point where there is a satisfaction in the change of your vibration, in your soul, in your understanding, that it doesn't affect you anymore. And it doesn't feel like there's more and more and more coming on that particular experience. So, also, just a quick review in step 2, because this will keep coming up as you go through step 3. You want to remember to call in the law of balance, and do this from a place of balance and love, and call in the law of desire, because out of desire, while you're sifting and sorting what you want and don't want, what you want to feel and what you don't want to feel, that's how new desires are born as you go through this process. So, really quickly, just a quick review. What will happen is, in step 2, it's from a place of tranquility. You allow yourself to receive the experience from higher self, what these emotions are linked to. So if you're having to repeat step through to go back through step 3, you have an understanding. So you're reminded of the past experiences that are linked to each other, like the broccoli. You're reminded of the level of distress that manifested itself and continues to manifest itself in other ways and other experiences since and on till now. And you are taken through the emotion again, not to suffer, but to allow yourself to remember what you felt at the time and even how much that you've suffered. And step 2 is those experiences will replay kind of like a movie in your mind. So, cheers to step 3. Okay, so next I want to just touch on some feel set tools that will help you with step 3. And one of the biggest and bestest ones is to allow, notice, jot down anything that feels true and important around your experiences from step 3. So this isn't an awareness list like we had at the beginning in step 1 and step 2. That in and of itself, those 4 steps are important because there may be other things that are linked to the experiences that you're working with in step 3, and you'll want to jot those down on your awareness list. But as you're going through step 3, you want to allow all of the feelings, all of the emotions, you want to notice them, and you want to jot them down if it feels true and important around the experience. So you may, if you like to write, great, have a journal or something. If it's something that you feel you need to keep more private, you can make a note in your phone. Or, maybe you have a great memory and can keep track of everything. Maybe it's just something you want to say out loud by yourself, and that helps you remind you what you'll need to work on. Whatever works best for you. For me personally, I usually kept a note in my phone, and sometimes I would keep some journal notebooks, but I personally didn't feel comfortable having journal notebooks laying around the house for anybody to pick up and read, but some people don't mind that. It really depends what feels really good for you, and you can always change midstream. So I had moved from just notes in my phone as I felt better and more confident in myself and my understanding to journals. So whatever works, they're all, any way that feels good for you is the best way for you at the time. Obviously, go back if you need a review. Go back to the practical guide for connecting to your higher self. It's an energetic practice. I may do something with it in the future on some of these free lives. It will definitely be incorporated into something coming up. And check out the tuning with your higher self exercises. So those are all in the back of the book Believe. I'll be talking about those more too in my upcoming program that is getting put together. If you want to know more sooner though, you absolutely can work with me one-to-one before any of the group programs or self-study programs come to physical reality for you. Okay, so just checking my notes. And something else that is really helpful is journaling. So almost scripting. So as you're going through these experiences that have been brought to you and you're going through step 3, something that might actually be really helpful for some of you, this is not mentioned in the Believe book or in the Feel Set tools, but this is something that I gravitated to personally that helped. And so you have this situation, you have the experience you have recalled that's playing like the movie and you're working through it. Well, how would you have liked it to be? Or how would you happen to choose to react if it happened in the future? And you can write in that energy and help to shift your perspective. So we're going to do a little overview to remember some important key parts. So your higher self in the Believe releasing process is going to bring through to you downloaded thoughts and feelings, and it's driven by your higher self. So this is the part, like, take any blame off of yourself. Your higher self is knowing best way of what to tackle first, so flow with it. And then You're going to purposely relabel your fear-labeled memories in your subconscious mind into love-labeled memories. You're going to remove any egoic resistance to your inner being, vortexes of emotion for each and every memory. You're going to control all of the stored and transitional low vibration generated because of your past experiences. You're going to let go your perspective. You're going to practice. You're going to gain deeper understanding as you actually go through the process. And then through the process, you're going to create new truths. And as the process continues through practice and perspective, your higher self will bring you more opportunity to strengthen your truths. So that's an overview of what we've done, what we're doing, and what is coming up in the Believe Releasing process. Let me check really quick if there is any questions or comments. And don't see any just yet. That's okay. If you're watching on replay, feel free to add some later to the comment section. Okay, so what is coming up? Well, I've got some special offers. I've got programs. I've got a plethora of things. So let's go through those. The Meet Your Higher Self special offer, the special pricing for the standalone offer in May is helping you get ready for brand new leading edge insight into the higher self program I'm creating. Or if you haven't even met your higher self yet, you can sign up for that, book in, and we can connect you with your higher self. Also, Living Your Truths is coming up in June. This is a great follow-on program after going through the Believe Releasing process or after the Broadest Truth. And even if you are actually evolved, it can be more of a living in evolved you energy. I can tailor it to you. And if you don't like a group program, we can do it one-to-one. It's all good. I'm very flexible in whatever you need, obviously. Then in July is Evolve You. So in order to be able to attend Evolve You online program, you will have to have reached your broadest truth. There are several ways to do that. One of the fastest and easiest is in the Broadest Truth program. I ran that in April. I'm running it in May, but it's already started. So if you are interested in trying to get up to speed before July, we can do it one-to-one. Just reach out and ask. And coming up in the future, what? This is exciting. There is an event by Fifth Dimension Earth called the Spectrum Experience. And this is enhanced experience in living. So I am attending that event, and I will be able to teach those of you who do not attend the Spectrum event. I will be able to teach all of you after the event is completed. So that's coming up in the future. I'm just sending out a little teaser to you all because you are going to want this. It is really going to be immense, and just the daily application and practicality that it's going to bring, it's going to be so good. So good. Okay. So also the Broadest Truth program, I think I already mentioned that, but next month's series in June, we'll be focusing on that. So you have a better understanding of what is the broadest truth, because we all have one. It's a matter of getting our vibration high enough and going through, the Believe Releasing process. It's a combination of all that to get to your own broadest truth. Okay, so next week we're continuing the free weekly Believe Releasing process series on Tuesday, and also Wednesday. Okay, so May 24th, I believe that's a Tuesday, we'll be doing video 4 of this series, and then on May 25th, I will be doing another free live guidance around your higher self. And if you have other questions besides guidance around your higher self, that's fine. Just hop on. So last month, I actually did a higher self tuning exercise with it. So that's great if you want to catch up on that video. Awesome. And, oh, I just kind of mentioned this to some of my other Evolve Changemaker friends. I have something special, a special program coming up that is so awesome and so practical for each and every one of you out there. I am excited to bring it to you. It's just another way of working with me on anything your heart desires, actually anything your heart desires that helps you along your magnificence journey. And I'm so excited to bring it to you. It's been something that's been culminating for me, and it's gelling and crystallizing. And so I am putting that together, and that offer will go out at some point in the near future. Really excited about that. Okay, as I mentioned, all of the links to book anything are in the post above. And, you know, if you aren't sure what you want, what you need, by all means, please book in one of the free discovery calls with me, and we can chat about it, and we can figure out what step is right for you right now, and discover all of that together. Okay. Don't see any other comments or questions just yet. So I want to thank you all for being here. And remember, it is time to transform the next segment on your journey towards your own true, beautiful magnificence. So let's manifest true, beautiful magnificence together. I will see you all next week for part 3 of the Believe Releasing Process series, and the day after for live higher self guidance. Ask me anything. I'm sending you so much love. See you soon.